Hello and welcome to another episode of the Runes of Aerial devlog. So, what I've been up to, let's start with the sandbox environment. And the first thing I'm going to show you is the Faust card. So I've created the Faust card, which will show up now when I start this fight in just a minute. Here we are. So we have the new interface. You can see here the Faust card, petrify a creature for 1 turn. So this is the upgraded Faust card, petrify a creature for 2 turns. And one thing you'll see is here the background in the back is changed a little bit, and that's because I've now got multiple backgrounds. So it chooses one at random basically, and this is the one it chose right now for this game. So I'm going to play the Faust card. So the Faust card is the first card that petrifies. I already had this petrification trait, and I already had a scroll that petrifies, but the Faust card is the first one that petrifies. So I'm, for example, going to petrify this werewolf, and that's it. So all the rest works fine. Basically, so that's the Faust card. The second card I've introduced is the lava flow card, and let me show you this lava flow card right now. I need to say that also one other thing I've implemented here is that flying creatures like a bird or an imp, for example, or a ghost like this one here cannot be petrified, because that's a bit silly. So the lava flow here, it petrifies a random creature for 2 turns. But of course, if that random creature happens to be a ghost or an imp or whatever, something that flies, then that won't work. So I'm going to execute the lava flow, and it's this one here. So this will be petrified for 2 turns. You can see here the icon petrification for 2 turns. That's cool. And while we're at it, I can show you also the next 2 traits I've been implementing. So here we see the trait here is the sjamaan trait, which will clear all bad states. And a bad state is like on fire or poisoned, for example. And here we'll see flee the battle. So we can also flee the battle. Let me just end my turn here.
Fire and poison, your turn.
And I deliberately did this because this battle I've put in this battle that these creatures will deliberately set me on fire and poison me, so I can execute here this clear bad states execution. So let me click that, and you'll see that the sound plays, and I'm no longer poisoned or on fire. So now it resets to 8 turns, so that's why I have to play 8 turns before I can use this again. Also, I can use this flee the battle, which will allow me to flee the battle every, I think it's 40 turns or something like that. I've put it in a configuration that it can be done every 40 turns, I think. So also the peak card, here you can see here, the peak card is back. You can see that the next card is a lava flow card. And also shapeshifter works. And rage. So these are traits that already work, of course. And I can show you the flee, flee trait. Let's see what happens. So it becomes dark, this sound is playing, and then we go back to the map, or in this case, we go back to the sandbox, of course. So that's all of these things have been created. What I did, actually, I configured here in the configuration file. I've added these escapist turns, petrification turn, rage turns, shapeshifter turns, time travel turns, summoning turns, and sjamaan turns. You can see, for example, it takes 40 turns for the escapist trait to become available. I've deliberately set this to a pretty high number because otherwise you'd be able to escape every single time, and that's not the idea, of course. And also time traveler is also very powerful, so I've also set it to 20. And summoning is also pretty powerful because you get this extra ally, also set to 20. But the rest is set to 8, which is approximately 1 battle or 2 battles, depending on how fast you can play. So that's why I've put this in this configuration. And you'll see here in the logic, for example, I've added some extra functions, execute escapist, execute sjamaan, etc. So what sjamaan does, for example, is very simple. We just check if the feeble state is active, or the fire, or the venom. So these are 3 examples of bad states. And we just reset them to 0, and we refresh the hero state, so the HUD becomes refreshed, and then we play this sound I've implemented here. So escapist will just play another sound, set the hint text to invisible, though I don't know why that doesn't work, come to think of it, but that's a little bug. And then we just fade out, and then we fade out, and there is an on fade out here finished. We execute a Q command, and this Q command is flee battle. And if I go to the command functions, you'll see that flee battle is here added somewhere at the bottom. If in flee battle, which will stop the ambient cycle, so the bats flying around and the werewolves howling in the background. If it's sandbox mode, we go back to sandbox, and if it's map mode, we will reset the player states and go back to the island or the current city map, depending on the map type. So basically, that's it. How it works. I think in the future I'll maybe add some more developer stuff here, because I know some of you will be watching this devlog not only for what's coming out into the game, but also for how this works internally. So in the future I'll put some more videos out there for you guys to see how the actual construct project works. So if you want to see more like that, just drop me a line in the comments. And as always, please like and please subscribe, and see you next time.